everybody, it's Christine with Cocoa Daisy, and I am sharing with you today a couple of projects that I created using the Frost and Frolic Modern Memory Keeping Kit. Now, the Modern Memory Keeping Kit is designed to work with any sort of crafting or memory keeping that you do, and that's what I love about this kit. Whether you do traditional pocket pages and use the pocket cards, or if you do 12 by 12, if you do mini albums, if you make cards, if you do memory planning like I have here with my daisy planner, anything like that, you can use this kit for. That's what I love about it. It fits with anybody's style. So the first layout that I did is a 12 by 12 layout, and I really wanted to do something with the little frames that came in the kit. So I have one of the little rub-ons in here, but I can show you. Didn't want it to get lost. You get 6 of the little slide ones, and then you get like the little Instax. So you get like the little Polaroid, and then you get the little Instax frames. So you get 6 of each, and I've used these on both of my projects, or both of my layouts. And on this one, I wanted to show you how easy it is to use those and make a grid design. Grids are super simple. They're an easy, fast way to create a layout. And they have a simple structure, so you can add a lot of photographs without it being cluttered and being a real clean look. Of course, you can add as many layers behind them if you want to, and you could do just 4. You could I did 6. What I did, I wanted to show some of the past decorations that we've had at Christmas. And so I was able to do 6. Now, if you wanted to, if you didn't have enough, you could fill one of these with journaling. You could add just some of the pretty patterned paper. You could add rectangles of the patterned paper and continue this as well, or mix them in and make your grid even larger. Another thing you could have done if you wanted to ground it a little bit more, I wanted to have the snowflakes and the splatter show through, but you could put a strip of patterned paper behind them, and that would kind of ground the whole thing. But I wanted to keep it open and show those bits in the background. So what I did, I printed out my pictures and I put them, I glued them behind each frame. I added the little bit of the little staple on there. I thought that was just kind of added a little bit of texture. And then I raised them up with some foam adhesive. So before I did that though, I did add some of the little black paint splatters. I went through and I used some of the pretty rub-ons and added those behind as well. Now remember, with the rub-ons, what you want to do is you want to cut them out individually before you use them. Don't try to rub it on while it's on the whole sheet, because what's going to happen is you'll most likely press on part of it and then you'll lose some of your rub-on. So I cut out each rub-on as I use it. And then I added a couple of those, a few of the little glitter dots. Then I laid my photos and frames down. I added the little die cut. And then the Christmas decorations, I added those puffy stickers, the puffy alphas. And then I loved this little pocket card. And again, I love to use these. I use these all the time in my layouts. You can cut them up. Some of them have pretty patterns on them. You could just use that as a pattern if you want. And then again, some of them have great spots for journaling. But I really thought that little saying was so cute, and it went with the fact that I had a couple of mugs on here. So what I did is I took that, I just kind of curled the edges up just to kind of give it a little texture so it doesn't lay completely flat. And then I tucked that under this one here. The other thing that I like about this is it breaks up the grid. So you get just this little bit of off-centered, it's off to the side. It breaks up that grid just a little bit, just to kind of add a little bit of, you always want to add a little bit of movement or a little bit of whimsy to your layouts. And that's what I did using that. And I liked curling up the edges just a little bit. You could distress it even further by actually tearing it a little bit, or adding a little bit of an ink pad to the edges. You could distress it up that way as well. But I thought this was just enough. I added a little rub-on there as well. So that is my 12 by 12 layout. Remember, grids are super, super simple, easy way to do a layout. You can always fall back on a grid. You could have used just these frames instead of the larger ones. If you wanted, you could mix them. And then another idea too, if you wanted to actually really reinforce the whole grid look, you could add strips of thin washi or washi tape in between. You could draw lines in between. What I've done before when I've done a grid type of look is I've drawn a line all the way around. Or a fun thing that you could do as well is just in pencil, draw a real light line all the way around and handwrite your journaling on that around the grid as well. So there's a couple of fun things that you could do with the whole grid design. Then the other thing I did, and I wanted to show you this for a couple reasons. So I do most of my memory keeping in my Daisy Planner. And I like to do the pages unbound first, and then I go back in and I add them back into the Daisy Planner. It's just easier for me to work with them this way. And what I wanted to do is I obviously wanted to use the product from this kit to give you some ideas, but I wanted to kind of plan ahead. And so I don't obviously have photographs yet because it's not December. It's not the first full week in December. So what I thought I would do is I thought, well, that's actually kind of a neat opportunity because December's, the holidays, it can get so busy. I thought it would be a fun kind of exercise to show you how to create a layout that doesn't have your photos yet, that then is going to be super easy for you to just add the photos in the journaling because it's already all put together. So it kind of goes back to that whole system that Allie Edwards started with the December Daily, that you put the pages together ahead of time, then add your photographs in your journaling, and it saves you time and you can be more in the moment during the hectic holidays. So I kind of took that idea and went with this. I did print out one photograph just to kind of give you an idea of what I was thinking as far as placement, with one larger photograph just to kind of give you an idea, but this one is not stuck down completely, so I'll replace that. But so what I did do is I went ahead and I stamped my dates on there in a bright, vivid red. And then I took a couple of the little frames. One of them I added one of the die cuts. I love that little saying. So, and I put a little foam adhesive on that. So that's raised up. Then the other one I angled and put kind of going off the page. I like that look, and it mimics the angle of this photograph here. And then I'll put a photograph in there. I added some of these. I love these glitter snowflakes and sayings. I don't know if you can see those. They're kind of hard to see. But what I like is they're real thin, and the glitter on them is not chunky. It's not going to come off. It's not going to go all over everything. And so I added just a couple of those. I liked this December piece of chipboard, and I loved this dressed up for the cold piece of chipboard. I added those, and I loved this color combination too of the blue and the green and the red with some of the bold black and white. So after I did that, because I figure, well, I'll have picture, I'll probably put one here, and then I'll add my journaling. And then I can go back in, and depending on what the pictures are, I can add some more stamping. I can add some more of the die cuts, some more of the chipboard. It's just going to depend on what I have pictures of. There's a few things I know that I'll have pictures of. I usually decorate. This is actually my birthday. And I usually decorate the weekend before, so I know I'll have a picture of the decorations that we put up. And I know I'm going to have a birthday picture in there. So I'm comfortable kind of adding some bits for that. Saturdays and Sundays, you know, I'll keep this in mind when I'm shooting my photographs a little bit to try and make sure that I get one that is maybe a little bit more smaller or square or horizontal. And I can add those in as well. And then I went back and I did want to add a little bit of rub-ons. I loved those little mittens and I wanted to do some more of that green. So I tucked those in there. And then when I was looking at the rub-ons, I saw that there was a scarf. And I thought, how cute. It looks like the 10 is actually wearing the scarf. So I added that under the number. I thought that was really, really cute. So if you wanted to do that with a word, if you printed out a large word, you could. If you wanted to do it with the ampersand, you could do it with that. So there's a number of different ways that you could use that cute little scarf and make it wrap around something. So I wanted to show that as well. And then I needed to just kind of fill in this space. And I did that with the definition stamp we have in here called the Mary one. I stamped that again in the green, making a little visual triangle there, and just filled that space with the Mary definition stamp. So that is kind of my way of doing ahead. And I may continue on with the other weeks in December, and that'll just all be ready for me to sit down and go. And I'd probably be able to do all of it in like a day and just take care of all of it and get it all done. And that would be a lot of fun. And then I'm not worried about it as well. So those are a couple of ideas, losing my voice, sorry, using the modern memory keeping kit from the Frost and Frolic collection.